Next thing that we look at is the width of our horse's spinal channel right here. And this is something that's becoming more and more important. And I actually just had an article published in California Riding Magazine on this topic of gullet width and why it's important. This is a place that Western saddles have actually kicked English saddles' butts for a long time, and that's that their tree bars are further apart. Yeah. What I want you to see is if we look at the side of our horse's spine, we've got stabilization muscles that run from the top of the spinal process to the transverse process. Thank you. And the way it runs is this is the multifidus. It's a multi-segmented muscle. It's not one piece of muscle. What it is the bottom of this transverse process runs to the top of that spinal process, and so it runs like this up the horse's back. This muscle is meant to carry tension. This should not be a lax muscle. If this is a lax muscle, her belly is on the ground. This muscle carries the tension of the spine, sort of like a bow, and a bow and arrow. And it also, when she's doing minute changes in bend, this muscle says to the brain, we need to bend the spine this much to create a bend. Or on this side, this much to create a bend. Or we need this much tension because we've got a weight sitting in our back and I need more tension now in order to carry that weight. Now, if our saddle sits too narrow and blocks this muscle or pinches this muscle, that information that goes from here to here starts getting misaligned. All right? And so now the brain goes, I don't know what's going on there. I've got to do something to stabilize that area because I don't have enough information. So I'm going to send in the infantry to protect this area because I don't know what's going on. And what happens is these major stabilization muscles all through here aren't strong enough or aren't getting the right messages. So then we go to the secondary or global stabilization muscles, which is from the base of the withers to the base of the neck, and from the low back into the hips over the sacrum. All right. So if those muscles suddenly are saying, oh my gosh, we've got to be tense and stable because something's not going on, the horse is going like this. Because this all gets tense and this all gets tense. And then we see the horse getting even more upside down. The other thing that you need to look at is if we show you a picture of the horse's spine here. So the pink is your thoracic spine, the green is your lumbar spine. This is your transverse process here with that pink. And then you see where the rib starts, okay? The connection from the transverse process to the rib head is very elastic, all right? That's how they breathe, that's how they move. If that was a solid connection, there's no way that the rib cage should expand for breath. So because there's an elastic connection from the transverse process to the rib head, we can sit on top of the ribs and it can carry that weight, and that elasticity gives us a shock absorber. If the saddle sits too narrow and you start sitting on the transverse process, you lose that shock absorber and we start directly affecting the spine.
So
you feel that springy, sort of almost like your Achilles tendon, and you can feel when you fall off the edge of it. You see how you're off that now? So that's how wide we need to make sure the space is between her panels.